Earth 2020. Society is in ruins, and a virus runs rampant among the world's humble citizens. They are lost. In these dark times, three wayward nerds cross paths at the House of India and realize they are destined to be friends. And so they did. This is their story. The story of The Side Quest.
Welcome back to the Side Quest podcast, everybody. My name's BJ.
And I'm Matt.
And Luke is dead.
He was outside when the Ice Age hit.
And then a steamroller came out of nowhere and squished him flat. Mm-hmm. It was the craziest thing.
I mean, we weren't even anywhere close to a steamroller.
Yeah, me getting my steamroller certification last week has nothing to do with that.
One bit.
Steamrollers don't even work when it's cold.
That's true. That's true. You need a very specialized barn that, to keep it warm in.
Yeah, which we don't have.
Here.
Or anywhere close to Luke's house.
Just waiting.
So everybody, it snowed like 7 inches in Tennessee, which hasn't happened in this state since I think I was 3 years old.
It's been wonderful. It's
Yeah.
been a lot of fun. It's cold. We got fire going, and it's just been cozy.
It's been really nice.
Yeah, I've been excited about it. The other thing is, like, during the summer in the podcast room, you'd have to have the fan going.
Yeah.
And that didn't make it any colder. That just...
It just blows the pig sweat off our foreheads.
Yeah, exactly. But now we can... I got my sweats, the moccasins, the hoodie.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, hot cocoa. Cheers. So, we're hella cozy. And, we're here for a good time.
Welcome back to the Cozy Cast.
Ooh, yeah.
My name's Darnarius.
Does ASMR do anything for you?
No.
No?
Every time I've heard ASMR, I just think someone's got to be jerking off for this.
I mean, I think that's what it was intended for. Nobody's like, oh yeah, it helps people fall asleep.
Because I scroll through Pornhub now, and I come up with ASMR videos all the time.
Really?
Like on the homepage, it's like, oh, you go to the gym with your girlfriend and she encourages you ASMR.
Get that pump in, baby.
She's like, oh, you're so strong.
Yeah, I mean, definitely was created with the intention of jacking off.
Yeah, I think so.
But, you'll see it like, oh, it's for relaxation. I'm like, no, it's not. It's annoying.
Yeah.
At best.
I don't like it. They make those ear microphones too that are for ASMR people. It's like if you bought that, you need to change lanes.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, get into something else.
Yeah. Review fucking the Minions or something. I don't know.
Yeah. That's weird. We've been playing, a lot of Fortnite the past 3 days.
Yeah, Kevin finally got deep into it.
Enough to play with friends.
Yep.
And I think he's into it. It's a lot more competitive than he's used to, but I think he likes the
I think the fact that he was playing it by himself without us, that tells me that he's hooked.
Mm-hmm. Last night, like 1 o'clock, I saw he was online, and then me and Luke played with him. We got the dub, which was dope.
Hell yeah.
And then Carmen's been playing.
Yeah.
It's really funny. She makes me laugh during that. She's like, "Hold on, don't drive away." And then you pull up with another car right now, and she goes, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's been fun.
Mm-hmm. I saw you playing Village.
Yeah, I beat Biohazard.
Oh.
The 2 days ago now.
Okay, cool.
So I was just like, let's just jump into Village. And playing them back to back, you can really notice the stark difference.
Did you play the Biohazard DLC where it's just like the Saw game?
Yeah, the found footage or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played those as they came out. And I remember liking them. There was a lot of stuff in that game that I didn't remember. And there's a lot of stuff in Village that I didn't remember because I played 7 back to back a bunch of times when it came out. And then Village, I think I only did the one playthrough. But now that I've got it on Steam Deck, I'm like, wow, there's a lot of stuff in this game that I don't remember at all.
Yeah, I mean, and I hear New Game Plus is actually pretty fun with Village.
Yeah, it was good in Biohazard 2 because you could keep upgrading the Albert weapon each time you started a new game. And then, so there's a lot of good shit you can do in Village, obviously with the merchant and all that.
Did you play the Village DLC with Rose?
No, I still haven't played that.
Okay.
So I'm thinking I'll buy that eventually at some point because Resident Evil games go on sale on Steam like constantly.
Yeah, and you'll see a lot of them in packs and stuff.
Yeah, I bought 4 for the winter sale because it was only $30.
Okay, cool.
And then I beat Liza P. I don't know if I said that last episode.
I think you said you were on like the last boss last episode.
Well, I beat Liza P. And now I'm doing New Game Plus. And it really is one of my favorite Souls-like games that's ever come out. And I can't wait to see what they do with the DLC / sequel.
And it's not even by BioWare, or not BioWare.
It's what's the name?
FromSoft, yeah.
No, it is published by Bandai Namco, I think, but it's a different developer.
Did you put out some model kits?
Yeah.
You could have some
Liza P model kits.
Yeah.
That would fit too because they all have like the mechanical joints and everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That'd be fire.
It would work out really well.
I'd buy the shit out of those. But yeah, it's amazing. I wish the DLC was out, but it's probably going to take a while because look at Shadows of the Erdtree. That's still not out.
Yeah.
So we'll see about that. But I'm really just trying to play light things because I know Yakuza's coming up in like a week.
Yeah.
And when that comes up, I've got to drop everything.
For sure.
Yeah.
I started, I think 2 days ago, what was it? Far Cry 6. I think it looks like shit.
Yeah.
Which is really odd because it's a next-gen release.
Yeah, it's strange. The graphics look indistinguishable from 5 to me.
I agree.
But 5 has better characters, better writing, better everything, which is crazy.
Yeah. There's one point where I was like, it was ridiculous. I was going through like these like hydrangea plants that was kind of like where you can hide and sneak in these plants. And how it looks, because it kind of like goes right but like at the middle of the screen to like show that you're crouching in it. And then as you walk forward, the plants just go like this. Just like it looks like they take an elevator down. Like they're trying to make it look like they're like folding down, but there's no perspective change with the flowers, so they just go zoom, zoom, zoom. And I was like, what the hell is this?
The thing with Far Cry that I've noticed is that every even numbered entry sucks balls.
Whoa.
Like 4 is awful, 6 isn't that good.
Which one was the Ice Age one?
That one
Primal,
is
right?
Primal, yeah. So that's not a numbered title. I wouldn't consider that a part of it.
I also don't remember people like.
I don't remember people liking it when it came out.
Except for like the people that just love Far Cry.
Yeah, I mean New Dawn when that came out, the 5, we made another game out of this thing. I really liked that one because they had this like base mechanic, so you could like take over a base.
And because then the whole thing is it's right after it's like directly after same place.
It is after it, but it's like 20 years after the bombs dropped.
Oh, I thought it was like 2 years after the bombs dropped.
Well, it might not be 20 years, but it's a significant amount of time because it's like everything is overgrown and covered in weeds. And you can meet the priest guy again. He's like old and he's got the gray hair. Yeah.
What was his name? Like John Saxon or something?
Something like that.
John Marston is.
I always liked him because there's that part in the game where, one of the brothers is. Oh my god. One of the brothers.
Oh, that could have been bad.
Church. Yeah.
Yeah.
The God just smiled upon me. One of the brothers has you in the church, and he's like, "I'm gonna fucking kill you if you don't pray to God right now." And then the priest is like, "Come on, use my Bible," and he's like, and then you flip it open, and there's a pistol inside. That's a hell yeah, brother.
Well, I also really liked but I liked 4, which is the like Wyoming radical Christian one.
No, that's 5.
5. Oh yeah, 5's amazing.
Yeah, 4 is like.
6 is the one that's like after the bombs dropped.
No, 6 is.
This one that I'm playing.
The one that you're playing, yeah.
Then what's the like? Is it DLC?
It's kind of DLC. It's like Blood Dragon.
Okay.
But for 5, it's called New Dawn.
Okay, yeah, okay, but yeah, 5 was awesome, and I loved like the whole mechanic of the crazy plants that made you like hallucinate.
Yeah.
And then there'd be those crazy guys.
And then they have that girl where it's like her whole boss fight is just a hallucinogenic.
Yes, yeah, and then there's like you go into like the base too.
Yeah.
That was I thought it was super sick. You could get in all you could have the planes, the helicopters, all the stuff. Cheeseburger.
Yeah, Cheeseburger. I love Cheeseburger.
I like the mountain lion a lot.
Yeah, the mountain lion was cool, especially for stealth. Having her and the girl with the bow was
Yeah,
a really good
I
team.
always use bow in Far Cry games.
Yeah, once you get the bow, it's over.
Yeah, it's
Because
just
then
like
it just becomes stealth.
yeah,
and it's perfect.
Yeah, and then it just becomes stealth archer, which is, as we all know, the best.
But it feels better in Far Cry than it does in Skyrim.
I mean, yes, yeah, for sure. I mean, especially when there's like detection meters.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just a lot, newer game kind of mechanics. So yeah, I think it works really well. And then
The thing with 6 is like the whole game, it feels like they're trying to bait, like, oh, you remember Far Cry 3?
yes.
So like,
And there's a couple like cool mechanics, but then they're also like annoying. Like one of them is because you're like a rebel and you're just trying to get like piece together any kind of weapons you have. You get a suppressor for a gun, but it has like an oil can and then like a milk carton, and you can only shoot like 5 shots consecutively before it doesn't work again. It has to cool down. And I'm like, that's cool, but and then it just became annoying. And then you have to get enough like weapon parts to make a real suppressor.
that's what I like about 5. If you want a suppressor, you can just buy it and put it on there.
Yeah.
And equip it and unequip it as you need.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but Blood Dragon, we were talking about this, that I would love for you and me to play that. That would be amazing.
I'd be down with that. I want to watch that Blood Dragon show that came out too.
With Raymond?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it does seem crazy. So we've been watching old shows and movies.
Yeah, we watched Point Break,
Yeah.
which I really liked.
I liked, but it's
It's really stupid.
It
but
is.
I still like it a lot.
especially because I forgot that they let him back in the force again.
Yeah, he's the worst cop of
Yeah.
all time. And then at the end, he's like, I'm not going to be a cop anymore.
Yeah.
It's like they probably didn't want you to in the first
Also,
place.
like, he killed your partner, or got your partner killed, and then you just let him die on a big wave.
Yeah.
Like, he must have been gay for him. Like, there's
There
nothing.
were a lot of like homoerotic undertones.
Because, like, even if you're a bro, like, let's say, like,
That jean jacket he wears in the end, though, with his hair down,
yeah.
fire.
Yeah. I mean, and Patrick Swayze, he's a hunk, dude.
Yeah, Patrick Swayze looked amazing in that movie.
Yeah. Total hunk. But, like, it's just so dumb because, yeah, they let him have I mean, it's total spoilers, but, you should have seen this. So he's an FBI agent. So, but, like, they made it seem like at the end that he let him off to ride the big wave because they were, like, bros. But, like, you meet somebody and they introduce you to, like, a hobby that maybe you really like and maybe you admire how adventurous and free they are. But if they kill, like, a friend of yours...
Yeah.
No
Like,
way.
all bets
Especially
are
it's
off.
not like one of us, like, what if, like, if I killed Luke, that'd be that'd be complicated. But it's like they've known each other for what, like 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. And then the other part that I didn't understand is like they recognized him as like the college quarterback, and yet he was still like saying like, yeah, my parents are dead. They could have like.
Yeah, they easily could have found that information out. I mean, it is before the internet, I
Yeah.
guess, so that it's easy to wave away with that mindset.
Yeah.
But like, still, if someone is that well known, where everybody on the beach recognizes you,
Yeah.
I think you could probably dig up some info pretty easy.
Yeah, especially if like you're doing like some illegal things, and then some guy comes out of nowhere and is trying to hang out with the gang. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know, I'd be on edge a little bit. I'd vet some people for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and then
Especially if you're robbing banks.
yeah,
Like, I feel
yeah,
like you'd be a little more cautious.
for sure. Yeah, I mean, because they were like their whole thing was like they've been doing this for like 20 years.
Yeah, and it's
Never
like
got-
they rob 30 banks every summer, and then
Yeah.
they just fuck off for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
And they spend that like $8 trillion within that year.
Yeah,
Which
Yeah.
is crazy.
And they're so professional. They've never been caught. They never get greedy, and so.
Yeah, they never go for the vault.
It's true. Also, the cop in the bank is.
Which, if that's the case, why not just rob like grocery stores?
That's true. Yeah. First, yeah. I mean, like, if you went to a Kroger, do you see how many registers there are?
Yeah, and it's all like 15-year-olds.
Yeah, that's true. Who
They
don't
just be like, fucking take it. I'm not trying to die for Kroger.
Have you ever been in like a situation where at work the cops were called?
Yeah, people call cops at the hotel.
What?
Like, I had this one situation. It was the stupidest fucking thing of all time. These people were like on the 4th floor, and somebody above them was like walking around in their room. And some people just can't fucking stand that. If they hear one iota of noise, they're like, I'm gonna fucking kill this person upstairs if you don't go up there and stop them. But the problem is, these people didn't call the front desk to make a noise complaint. They just called 911. So a cop comes strolling up to the desk, and he's like, hey man, I got a noise complaint. And I was like, I didn't call you. And he's like, yeah, somebody up in the rooms did. And I was like, motherfucker. And he was like, I really don't know what to do here. Like, obviously this isn't my thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you can head up there and talk to these people if you want to. Like, I'll send my houseman up, but they didn't talk to me at all. And he's like, all right, I'll walk up there, whatever. And then he just comes back down. He's like, yeah, I couldn't hear literally anything.
I wasn't too worried about like in Franklin, like the cops being called, but remember when there's that like those 2 black guys that like tried to use the bathroom in Starbucks, and then like they were like, no, you have to like buy something, and then they were like, no, we're not gonna buy something, let us in, and then they caused a whole scene, and then like the cops got called, and then it blew up because they're like, they did nothing wrong. And anyways, so Starbucks like had like a day where all the Starbucks were closed so we could do like sensitivity training, and it was wild. And so, you know, being in Franklin where it's like, you know, every 40-year-old millionaire wife who's a stay-at-home mom is going to get Starbucks every day, and then only in the morning from like at 6 a.m., you know, all the businessmen are getting their coffees and stuff like that. But, you know, nothing. I'm trying to think of a time that we had the cops. Even at work, the cops don't come around. There was one time where in Murfreesboro we were working, and all of a sudden I hear like sirens, like a bunch, and I was like, whoa, okay, like something's popping off in Murfreesboro. And then they pull in, like they're on the road, and I was like, oh, there they go. And then they pull into the parking lot, and I was like, what is happening here? And so then I get out, and everyone's like, what is happening? And this guy was sitting in his car, and he's like, what's happening? I was like, I don't know, I'll find out. He's like, okay. So I go in, and they're like, somebody's stuck in the elevator. And I was like, oh shit. So I go out to the guy, and I was like, someone's stuck in the elevator. And he's like, fuck, I'm the elevator guy. So he like gets his tools and runs over, and there was like some poor Mexican guy in there that was just like, because he like was trying to like call the firemen, but like 911, so they had to get a translator on 911 to tell the firemen. And then there's a guy, because they couldn't really hear inside. And
Yeah.
Anyway, so the elevator guy's like, this whole time this guy's been stuck in there for like 45 minutes because it's like during lunch break, because he was in his car and I was in my car eating lunch. And so he's been stuck in there for 45 minutes, and the elevator guy was just sitting in his car, and then he just gets a key and opened it right up, and then the fireman left.
That's hilarious.
That's the only kind of like
That sounds like something that would happen at our hotel.
Well, like, there's, I don't know. I can't think of any like emergency things. I mean, there's been some times where like we've had like tornado watches, and then this superintendent that is very infamous among our crew, his name's JB, and hey man, I'm JB, and he was like, we gotta get the fuck out of here, man. There's a fucking tornado coming. Pack your car. You better go now. And so we're like, okay, let's go. I mean, he's also like, yeah, man, I like to write songs sometimes. You know, I got this one called The Wave of Love, you know, and it's about how love's supposed to be, not only any of this hippie homo bullshit. And, you know, it starts in the beginning of the song when you're a little boy and you got a little crush. And then it goes through this boy's life until he becomes a man with a family. The Wave of Love, man. Hey, you want to listen to it? And I was like, I don't know, man. And then, like, he'll see, like, a woman walking her dog, and he's like, check out that piece of ass, man.
Oh, I know this guy now.
Yeah.
Now that you say that.
Yeah. And But he saw Godzilla versus Kong, and he's like, guys, let me tell you about this fucking movie that I saw. Oh my god, man! So they got this goddamn monkey man. He is. And he tells us the whole plot of Godzilla versus Kong.
This goddamn monkey man.
Dude, and he is so fucking big. And then he goes to the end, and then he gets the axe with the spine, the one of the spines of a Godzilla. And Godzilla he lights it on fire, man. And he kills the Robo Godzilla. Oh my god, man, this movie's fucking amazing. Yeah, JB's a character.
That's hilarious.
He asked Jake to, like, he was going to pay him out of his pocket to help him install, like, a fancy door at his home. And he was like, I don't have internet out there, man, so I'm going to write you down the directions. And it's like, turn left at the second oak tree. Get off at this exit.
So he doesn't understand that him not having internet at his house doesn't mean that someone can't use Google Maps to get there.
Yeah, and so he's like, it's not on an address. You just, here, let me figure it out for you. So on the third oak tree, you got to turn left and go down there for a quarter mile. You'll see a blue barn. And you keep on going past it, you know, like, and Jake, it took him like an hour and a half just to find his place. And JB was like, man, where the fuck you been? I thought you said you were going to be here at 7. He's like, I've been calling you.
I don't have an address. I don't have fucking anything.
Yeah, like, I'm helping you out install your own personal door.
Also, I'm really sorry I farted. You're probably going
to... Is it stanky?
Yeah, you're not going to like that in a minute.
Okay, well, guess I'll just wait.
Wait it out.
Oh, my beer.
Man, this weather is crazy.
Yeah, it's awesome though.
I can't believe, like, I've never seen the roads look like that here.
I agree. When we were driving back yesterday, Kevin and I, because we went into Nashville, I mean, even when we got, like, leaving and coming back on 431, there was nothing. Like, you couldn't see the road at all. You couldn't see any lines, couldn't see anything. We were just driving in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
Is it still like that?
Yeah. Pretty much. On 431 it is.
Yeah.
And obviously next to the house. But 65 was pretty clear. Like, they scraped it off. You can see the lanes and everything.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's you know, it's interesting because, like, this isn't like, this is super rare for here, and everything shuts down, like, everywhere. And it's I mean, even when we were driving to Nashville, they were like around us, like on the freeway going to Nashville at 8 o'clock in the morning would be like the worst time to go there. And there was about like 6 cars around us the whole time driving. Like, it.
Yeah. Because they don't budget for that here. Like, they never anticipate it. Mm-hmm. And then when it hits, it's like, oh, well, we're fucked.
Yeah, for sure. It, I mean, at all the job sites, we were like, we called the one guy, and he was at a hotel, and he was like, oh, you guys are coming in. I was like, yeah, we're just going to do a little bit of work. He was like, okay. And we went there. Nobody else was there. Went to another job site, and shit wasn't even ready. And the guy was like, oh, yeah, like, I'm not coming in. Like, I'm surprised you guys are. So,
damn.
Yeah, then we just went home. Played Fortnite. So,
hell yeah. This time of year, or at least when it snows, I always think about Persona 4. Because, like, the one time that I played that game, it was like I was working at GameStop. I just started there. It was a cold winter, and then there was snow at some point. And then I remember around the time that happened, I got to the snowy part of the game, which is closer to like the end of it. And there's this song that plays when you're in the overworld. It's like this vocal song about snowflakes and all that. Oh, really? Stuff. It always pops into my head when I see snow now. Because that was
It's weird how our brains, like, wire, like, certain things like that. Like,
I mean, like, I'll smell certain types of plastic sometimes, and it'll take me back to very specific toys.
It's very odd. Like, sometimes that shit will pop out of nowhere, and it'll take you to something that you have not remembered since, and it's very odd.
Yeah. It makes me sad, though. Like, remembering something that I used to love so much and being like, wow, I haven't thought about that in forever.
Yeah, for sure. It's, there might be a time when, we're old and we think back to something, like we hear something odd that reminds us of a time we all had together, and we'll probably be sad about it, but you know, it's just how life is. But
I'm just imagining being like a 70-year-old man in a wheelchair, and like, you know, family, you know, pushing me to the dinner table and be like, "Don't fuck me." Like, what are you talking about? Like, you guys fucking suck.
they're like, "Oh, Grandpa,
You don't get any of my jokes.
yeah, don't fuck me, don't fuck my wife." Whoa, dude. So, no, it's super cool to have this kind of weather. I know, but other like, well, yeah, it's like everyone, because you know, like when you're talking to people that you don't really know, it's like always just ends up being like, wow, the weather's.
Well, the thing that everybody's experiencing right now.
Whoa. It's like all the talk of the town though. Like everybody on Instagram,
Yeah.
like it's everyone's just like experiencing this together, and they're like, "Whoa, check it out!"
Yeah, and that I feel like it's such a big thing for people to talk about because we don't have many shared experiences. Like that's why the Marvel movies were so big because everybody was so into them.
Oh,
We could all share references from that thing.
that's true.
I mean, Game of Thrones, I feel like was the same kind of
That's
thing.
true. You know, and it sucks because there's a lot of shared experiences for people that are not like fun things to talk about, like, you know, like 9/11. Like,
Yeah.
where were you on 9/11? It's like, it's cool that we have shared experiences across our country, but a lot of them are,
Shared trauma.
yeah. Remember Katrina? I mean, like, there's a bunch of that kind of crazy shit that happens, you know, so.
That's very true.
Yeah, so it is interesting that as a state we can share experience, but you know, everyone's like on Instagram, like taking dumb,
18 pictures and
dumb
creating an
photos,
album
and they're
of,
like, "Oh my gosh!" Like
it's just pure white with like maybe a tree.
yeah.
And like their shitty little dog. It's never seen the wilderness.
I just like, and I don't need to like hate on people that do it, but it just doesn't connect for me to like, I'm gonna take this like, you know, especially with Instagram, like it makes sense taking photos and sharing it with your family and friends of like, here's this fun experience, but then like Instagram is so fucking like, this is what I want you to see,
Yeah.
and it bothers me.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's that way for a lot of girls. My Instagram has 3 posts on it.
Yeah.
So like, you know, seeing people that I like knew in high school that I still follow, it's always like, snowflake emoji, and
Yeah.
a scarf. I have 18 scarves on, a beanie. Look at me.
Cozy.
It's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Everybody is wearing the same thing.
Yeah, and everyone's experiencing this. Like,
Congratulations, you're cold.
yeah. Because some people, I mean, that's the odd thing about like influencers is that they think that their perception of or at least the perception
They think that they're special
yeah,
because they can see a thing and that makes that thing special.
or they think that they're special because they post something and a bunch of people see it and then are
and then
affected
they
by
like it because they have a fat ass.
Yeah. Yeah. Check out my new yoga pants.
Nice.
That's like the weird, like I get like streamers and other stuff, like okay, like that partly makes sense, it's entertainment. I mean, streamers are essentially just like, I mean, it's almost akin to like the late night shows, you know what I'm saying, where late night shows is all it is
It's personality.
well, it's just commentary on like,
Yeah.
you know, like, okay, yeah, maybe they're interviewing people, but it's usually them just like, hey, here I'm funny and I'm talking about current events. And so it's, you know, streaming, it's like, hey, I'm entertaining and I'm playing a popular video game.
Have you ever been into like watching someone stream? Have you ever been somebody that's like, oh, Pokemon streams every Tuesday at this time,
No.
I gotta be on.
No, I mean, Critical Role I get, but only because I'm watching it. But I also am
Speaking
like,
of which, I finished Dungeons and Daddies.
can we
Season
talk?
1.
Okay, so you got to the part where Glenn, he does the
The power word
kill against Glenn.
Yeah, and
And
he says dragging these nuts across your face,
Yeah.
and then just immediately kills him.
Yeah, and it's dumb because he cuts him once, and they're like, "We have to cut you again." That's where I was like, "That's where the lack of mechanics pisses me the fuck off." Like, you're just trying to kill off a character because it would make sense in your story. Like,
Yeah, no perception rolls.
no perception rolls.
Trying to see if it's Willie or something.
Yeah. And then it was, but then at the end, when he comes from the hell
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
in the final battle,
And Jimmy's there.
Yep. So that was sweet. In
I started season 2 and I don't like it.
I agree. It's not as good. It's really not.
Yeah, I don't like they can't play teenagers because they're not connected to that part of life anymore.
Yeah,
It just doesn't make sense to me.
I agree. And I'll tell you, the only person who's funny, it's not even Beth May. It's clearly what's her name? What's his name?
Matt.
No, the guy who plays Glenn. Jimmy, not Freddie Wong.
Freddie Wong. Yeah.
Freddie Wong's character is very funny, and he feels the only one that's remotely connected to his grandpa. So,
Well, that's lame.
yeah, he's like, at one point he's like, I gotta, he like wears like a cardboard RX-72 Gundam like suit, and then he always has like ninja stars in his backpack, and I was like, feels connected, like.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm just not a fan of it. So.
Yeah, I don't think I'll continue with season 2.
But season 1 is perfect.
Yeah, it's absolutely perfect.
So
Loved everything about it. Can't wait to do Cyberpunk.
I know we were gonna. If Luke had come today, we were gonna.
Yeah.
If he wasn't dead, he would have created his character today. I did like that.
It's too bad those guys that aren't us squished him with that stream roller.
Yeah, that's right. Really slowly too.
Yeah. From the feet up. Like in Austin Powers.
Yeah, yeah.
No. Get out of the way. Move. Just move.
No. I like that TikTok that you sent. There was like, they're in the big.
Oh yeah, when you're fighting an ogre and everybody thinks it's gonna be a hard battle, but the one character that you've decided is the main character gets an insane power up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got so much shit planned. I've come up with a storyline that's gonna blow your fucking mind, at least with your family history and stuff that we created in like 2 minutes.
And it's okay. I'm seriously impressed with us. It's actually fucking like, it's good.
Yeah,
it's really good.
It's a well fleshed out character.
Yeah, it's. I mean, we could talk about it on pod.
Yeah, because I mean, we didn't really talk much about the experience of building it. So we just sat down with the rule book one night, and I was like, all right, let's do like pick your class first, and Matt went with a lawman, and then
Which wasn't my first choice. I kind of wanted. I looked online. We did talk about this. I didn't want to. It was hard for me to pick. I wanted to do like techie or like just whichever one Google said was the best.
Yeah.
But I did lawman, and yeah, his name's Ichiro Caldwell.
Yeah, Caldwell. And then his mom's last name is hyphenated, but I can't remember what it is at the moment.
Hishirama or.
Hold on, let me just go get your character sheet.
Oh yeah, do it. Would you grab a twisted? Yeah. Cool. Hey, while you're gone, I could talk about our wonderful sponsor. Our wonderful sponsor is Dubby. They make a really great energy powder to make energy drinks. It's made from a lot of natural substances like coffee extract, that's where it gets caffeine. No artificial colors, so it's also what I love about it. You pour it in, it's not going to make a stained mess on your clothes if you get a little bit on your clothes when you're doing the powder. They have great tumblers that are made in the USA, so that's great, supporting a business that provides jobs in the country. And they have a bunch of great anime cups and some cool key mats, like mouse pads. And if you use code TakeItSleazy, all one word, you can get 10% off your order, and it helps us out. All right. Yeah. So my name's Ichiro Caldwell, but I go by H.
Yeah, because his name is spelled EICHIRO.
Yeah.
So shorten it to H.
H. Yeah. So I personality introvert or extroverted introvert. I said it backwards, but It would be because I'm more of an introvert, but I can be an extrovert when I need to. Motivations, I'm coasting. I'm good at killing. I'm good at hunting down.
He's good at being a cop, but that's not what he's passionate about.
Yeah, my goal is cooking. I'm passionate about cooking.
When you said that originally, that's when it all started spiraling into like we created 5 other characters based on that.
Well, I was like, I'm good at cooking because I'm half Japanese, and my mom, my grandpa owned a like a ramen shop in what is it, Little Japan, or
he owned a ramen shop in Japan, and then you guys immigrated to America, and then your mom opened one in like Japantown.
Yeah, in Japan. Yes, exactly. So then, my dad, he was a cop. He passed away, and just from being duty stuff, normal duty things.
Or did he?
Bum, bum, bum. Friends. I have one distant cop friend that I met in the academy. And a big Samoan guy who loves food, and that's how we connected, because we were like roommates or something like that. And
he didn't know how to cook, and then you started making all this shit.
Yeah, because his mom would just make him everything, and so then the Samoan has a lot of rice dishes, and
we haven't come up with a name for him yet.
Yeah, no, well, we'll think about that. Enemies, we're just gonna have booked criminals, and then romance. I'm single and straight, but on the back though, we have my mom's name is Hana Takanaka.
Mm-hmm.
Dad is Stephen Caldwell. Cousin is Masayoshi. Mm-hmm. And he is like a streamer. And he's in like the small circuits of fighting tournaments.
Yep.
Of video game fighting tournaments. He's not well, but he always enters national competitions, gets to the second round, and he's better than all of his friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
He's too good to play with his friends, but not good enough to play online all the time.
Or just be like get any
like
trophies.
That. Yeah,
for sure. I have an uncle that's a deadbeat.
The
Sean,
dad's brother.
And then grandpa is Oji-san Kenji.
Mm-hmm.
So Kenji Takanaka, but Oji-san is grandpa in Japanese. So yeah, and I got a modified leg, a synth leg to have to be able to holster my pistol in it, a little throwback to RoboCop.
Mm-hmm.
And then just because my assignments are going after like AI, rogue AI and stuff like that, I have a modded microwaver. So we did it kind of as it's a heavy pistol, but I can switch between EMP shots or normal bullets.
Mm-hmm.
And then
the leg is cyberware that lets you conceal weapons that aren't normally concealable, which
Yes.
are all in the rule book.
Yeah. So the only thing that's not homebrewed, well, I guess a little bit, is the modded microwaver. But that,
I mean, a little bit just to work with the leg.
Yeah.
But it's mostly just lore.
yeah, for sure. And because it also kind of works because I was going off of Blade Runner kind of stuff, and Decker's pistol in Blade Runner has the 2 triggers.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, if I had 2 triggers on my gun, one that fired EMP shot and the other that fired a normal.
And that's exactly what the microwaver does, which is, we were hyped when we found that in the rule
Yeah,
book.
because we were like, oh, let's just come up with it. And then you're like, oh, shit, there's other pages of special weapons. And,
Yeah, there's like exotic weapon pages.
Yeah, so. Yeah, I'm really excited. So we said we'd want to start our campaign in, like Detroit?
Yeah, you're going to start in Detroit. I'm going to make it where you've recently been transferred. And I have a loose idea with what I want to do for Luke's character.
Mm-hmm.
Because of what he's told me before.
I'm very interested.
Because he really wants to do like the V thing, where it's like he's got a chip in his head. Luke, if you listen to this part, I'm going to fucking come to your house and steamroll you again. But my idea is...
how about this? Luke, just don't listen.
Yeah, don't fucking listen to this, Luke.
Okay.
The idea that I have is that he does have a chip in his head, but he can't remember anything. He is the overwritten personality in someone else's body. So like this whole time he's going to go through the campaign, make relationships and all this stuff, and then I'm going to drop it on him that you're not you're this other guy that died.
Okay, can I help you add a little something? You need to have like one person be like an old man that fucking recognizes him.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure out where to...
Yeah, because I'm sure that if you did that, Luke would pick that up. So it has to be in a subtle enough way.
Well, it's what I want to do is like I want to have someone like, meet him and be like, oh, you're just like someone I used to know, and because it's like it's not the same body, but the same personality.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought because with V it's.
Well, I mean, if you pick the ending where you let Johnny take the body, it's just Johnny's personality in the body.
Yes, exactly.
So that's what I want.
So somebody would recognize the physical person.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be you recognize. You would be like you look like somebody I knew, but you act very different.
Yeah, that makes sense. Too.
Because because the AI took over the body. Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, that's what you got.
But I've got a little bit of a paper trail planned out for that.
You could have like somebody pay for their drink at a bar. Oh. Scam likely strikes again.
But yeah, like if that is the route that he still wants to go down, I have a very easy way to get you guys together to meet in the first session.
I mean, it makes sense if I deal with fucking AI.
Exactly, and that's basically just what's in his head.
Yeah.
So, easy shit there.
Yeah.
We're gonna start.
I'm
in
very
Michigan.
excited.
I basically homebrewed all of Las Vegas in my head, like how the city works, the layout, everything. I just need to come up with a couple more cities in between there and Vegas before you get to Night City.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I'm glad we were able to share everything that we've kind of worked through in more detail. So, yeah, it's very different. I mean, like at least combat stuff is very very different. So I don't, we'll just figure that out as we go. So
I've got some tools to make it a little bit easier.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, like, doing it for the first time, I don't want to like overwhelm you by mistake on your first fight or something. Give you somebody that's way out of your league, but I think I found a way around that.
Cool.
So,
well, I guess we'll just have to see what kind of weapons Luke wants. I'm assuming he's gonna do bladed weapons.
Yeah, he's probably gonna do melee.
Some mantis blades.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if you can fucking afford mantis blades.
I don't think you can.
Yeah. So it'd probably be like some fucking knives.
I mean, I did give you the microwaver, but we're explaining that away as that's your service weapon.
That's my service pistol for
sure. So I'd be okay giving Luke one really good thing.
Yeah, for sure. No, that would make sense for sure. I mean, yeah, definitely. But it's a whole new world that I am very vague on because I've even tried looking up podcasts and other stuff, and the podcast.
I haven't found a single good one.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, I was like, none of them. They're all shit, and it's hard to try to learn because even if they were good, the real problem is you have to find somebody who's mechanically really good at the game, really good DM. It's hard to stay in and listen and try to find a good DM that's mechanically good to learn the rules when it's just a shit crew that is not entertaining to listen to or watch. So
yeah, I mean this whole thing is banking off the lore for me. Even if the battles suck, the lore is gonna bring it back for us because I've got shit planned that I know you guys will like.
There are, when I was wanting to try to start a campaign within our friend group there are people online that you can host that will host, and it's it can be I forget how much it is, but that'll DM for you. I wonder if they have that for people that have done Cyberpunk Red.
I'm sure there's somebody out there that'll do that.
Just pay once and have them just run through a one shot with us. We can learn everything there is, ask them questions. So that would be cool.
Maybe we need to hit Lee up.
Yeah.
Hey, I need you to spend an afternoon figuring this out and helping us.
Yeah, for sure. Was hanging out with everybody on Discord last night. Played some Tarkov, which I like. The idea of Tarkov is really cool because it's a looter shooter, but extremely mil sim. You can die and just with one bullet to the head.
Damn.
And then lose everything. And I was really into it, and then I bought it, and then our shit internet I'd get disconnected all the fucking time because I had the worst ping, and I haven't played since because it's also really hard for me. I'm very scared. If I go out and
Yeah, it's like real life. You could just get shot in the head and
yeah,
die.
exactly, yeah, and then all my loot's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I haven't played. But I played with Ezra, and he like walked through some stuff on some offline plays, which you can just like play in offline matches to get like learn the maps and do other stuff. I didn't even know that, and so he was like, "All right, these are the tasks that you need to complete on this map. Let's run through them in offline so that you can do it online." And I thought that was a lot of fun. So
Hell yeah.
it's a cool game. I mean, a lot more are like coming out with these tactical like looter shooters. There's one that's coming out that's like horror based. So like there's gonna be like AI on the in the map, some NPCs, enemies that are all like demons or something weird. So
It sounds interesting.
it does. I mean, it makes sense. Like if the world is filled with some sort of a mass of bad things, then everyone would hide and everyone would go out and loot.
Yeah.
Try to
and then go back to hiding.
Yeah, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you're worried about with Infinite Wealth, or like?
I mean, I'm just worried about how emotional it's going to make me.
Yeah,
And I'm also worried they're still not going to bring Ryuji back.
and Ryuji is
He's the villain from 2. And he's like the best villain that they've ever had.
really.
Yeah, because he's the other dragon.
Oh,
Like, he is, Kiryu's the dragon of Dojima, but he's really the dragon of the whole Tojo clan. Like, every time shit goes down, they need him and they need Majima. Ryuji is the dragon for the Omi Alliance.
okay,
So, the equal but opposite
yeah,
kind of thing. And his sister is finally back. She hasn't been in the game since 2 either, but she was Kiryu's love interest. They've already let it slip that she's in the game. So maybe Ryuji will come back. Who knows?
Ryuji probably wouldn't have cancer though.
Yeah, but that would be...
I can't believe they dropped that in the trailer though.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
That's really fucked up. I mean, essentially they're like, he's gonna die.
Yeah. And then it's like, oh, and here's Yakuza Gaiden. And then it's all these shots of him smoking, and I'm just like, I don't want to see this right now.
Oh no! Yeah, that is a crazy thing to drop.
Because in Gaiden, he smokes way more than he ever has before, and it's because he doesn't have his family. He has to cope somehow, and it's just like, God, fuck off.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so depressing.
It's gonna be really
I
fucking
mean, maybe
sad.
they're just trying to emotionally prepare people.
Maybe, but there's also a part in the trailer where it's like Kiryu passes out on the ground and like hits his head or something, and Ichiban like puts him in a car to like get him taken to the hospital, and Kiryu like reaches out and grabs his hand, and he says something to him, but it's not in the trailer. It's just music over that part.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is yet, but I'm worried about my boy.
I mean,
I'm worried about the other boys too, because they don't seem like they're in a good situation.
What's the main character of the now Like a Dragon series?
Ichiban.
Ichiban. Do you have as big a connection to Ichiban as Kiryu?
No, because he's only been in one game.
Oh, 7.
Yeah. So like I do like Ichiban.
What's his backstory? Wasn't he homeless?
He was an orphan and he was raised in a soapland,
Oh yeah.
and he like grew up on the streets, and then one day he like got into crime and he was like stealing food and cigarettes and all this shit, and then he stole from some yakuza, and they like took him in and they were like cutting his fingers off, or they were going to, and he was like 15 years old. He was like, no, you can't do that. I'm with the Arakawa family. And which is a big no-no. He wasn't a part of any Yakuza clan. And then they were like, all right, we're going to call that motherfucker and see if he cares if we take your fingers or not. So they call him. And then Arakawa shows up, the leader of the family. And he's like, you need to let this boy go. And they're like, no, this kid stole from us. You owe us some fingers. So Arakawa just chops his fingers off right then and there. And he's like, all right, get up, let's go. And then from then on, he like stood outside of his office and like opened the door for him every single day until he finally was like, all right, you can come in. And then there's a whole lot of plot contrivances, but that man ends up being Ichiban's dad.
Oh, because they were like switched at birth, right?
Yeah, and he didn't know until after he was gone.
Damn.
Yeah, so
I mean, that's cool, but it still doesn't give me like a connection to Kiryu.
Yeah,
or
like
as good of a connection as with Kiryu.
because Kiryu, it's like you see him grow up completely. Like you start when he's like 25, and then he's 60 now. You see every stage of his life.
But how old is Ichiban now?
Ichiban is 40.
Oh dang! So yeah,
Yeah,
it's
because
not even
he
a
went to
young-
prison in like 2003.
Okay, so they
and
don't
he
even
didn't get
have
out.
like the new young character to replace. And this guy's already kind of like
Yeah,
getting
he's,
up there.
He's been in prison for 20 years.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, but another thing about the trailers is that Kiryu goes to visit Majima at one point, and Majima, Sajima, and Daigo are just like fishermen in this snow village, and it's like there's this point where it's like Kiryu and Majima looking at each other, and Majima's like, "Damn, you got old," but like you can see the gray in Majima's hair. And then every fucking day on Twitter, I log in and I see people posting them seeing each other at the end of Yakuza 0 and then that, and it breaks me so bad.
I mean, that's a duo right there.
Yeah.
It's so sad that there wasn't like, and they didn't like, I don't know, make a tag team game.
That would be tight.
Just, I mean, like they're just destined for each other.
For real. The whole thing in Yakuza 2, another reason why I like it so much, is because before the game starts, they kick Majima out of the Tojo clan.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not Yakuza anymore. He just like runs a construction company. And at one point in the game, Kiryu's like, I know we're all thinking it. The only way that we could ever stay alive ever again is if we get Majima back. And they're like, fuck, man, we can't do that. He's like, I know, but he's the only one that can save us, and he's absolutely right. So you go and save Majima's ass, and then in the next game, Majima saves Kiryu's life. And then in 4...
Would you say that Majima is Kiryu's best friend?
Yeah, because in 5, Kiryu's completely done. Like, he's out of the family completely. The opening cutscene is Daigo finding where he is with his fake name. He's, like, working as a cab driver, and Daigo gets in, and he's like, yeah, the Omi Alliance is coming down hard on the Tojo clan. Wish somebody would give me advice. And Kiryu stops the cab, and he's like, get the fuck out. He's like, come on, I know it's you. And he's like, get out. So he's totally done. He's not even at the orphanage anymore because he's been, like, extorted out of it. They're like, you're going to ruin Haruka's career if they know that you're a Yakuza. So he can't even see the kids. He's just in this strange city working as a cab driver and just sending home money orders. And there's this detective guy that keeps coming around. And he's like, hey, man, it's war between the Omi and the Tojos countrywide. Like, there's small-town Yakuza groups that are joining sides. I'm going to need your help in this. And he's like, no, I'm not going to do that. And then it gets to the point where it's like armies of people are about to fight. And Kiryu's like, if I stop this conflict, like, you two won't be at war and you can fuck off back to Okinawa. So he beats up literally a whole clan. Like 100 fucking dudes with rocket launchers and shit. He just beats them with his fists. It's crazy. And then at the end of that, the detective's like, well, I guess you're back in now, huh? And Kiryu's like, nope, I'm just a cab driver. And then he turns on the radio, and then it's like, this just in, Goro Majima dead. And Kiryu fucking punches the steering wheel, and it breaks. And then he's like, all right, I'm back in.
So it was like fake?
Well,
clearly.
Yeah, I mean, they like kidnapped him and tortured him, but they produced a body, and they were like, yeah, Majima's dead. So then Kiryu was like, I'm gonna get my fucking revenge.
Damn.
Which Sajima didn't even do. Sajima's like, I want to know what his last words were, but he knew what he was getting into. Kiryu's like, I'm gonna kill everybody that fucking had a hand in this.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So, I mean, I guess not within a year, like, because they're now separate years, but within what, like, when did A Man with No Name come out?
That came out in November.
And then this is coming out in January.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, December. That's like 2 months, you know.
Yeah, it's
Do
crazy.
you think we're gonna get like another Yakuza, or I guess like a Dragon game this year?
Well, they've been talking about doing another presentation. So, I mean, their schedule is usually like 2 or 3 games a year.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's
especially for being, I would say, like within the community, they're bangers. Except for what was the Gaiden?
Ishin.
Ishin, yeah.
Yeah, Ishin was a little weird. but like the output that they have is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
The fact that they're able to put out so many games, and I mean they do reuse content, but they know what to reuse and what to make new. So it always feels like a new experience.
Oh, like
every
when
time.
they like refresh a game or something.
Yeah, like Kamurocho, pretty much always the same city, but you know you have to do different things in the city. They change up karaoke, some stores are different, stuff like that. So it evolves over time, and I think that's part of the appeal is just seeing how the city grows too. But like they're doing that, they're doing Judgment. They do.
What do you know the name of the engine that they use?
It's a proprietary one they created now. It's called the Dragon Engine.
So it must be able to they must be able to pull resources from previous games
Yeah.
to reuse, even if they're like updating like the resolution. Because, so have you heard about Smite 2?
No.
So Smite 2 is Unreal 5. Smite 1, which is essentially it's a third person, not top down, but third person, like League of Legends.
Mm-hmm.
But because League of Legends is top down, so Smite 2 is coming out, and it's Unreal 5. The original I think is Unreal 3, and not even Unreal 4, because Unreal 3, and they have like over like 1,000 skins in the game, and everyone who's had skins in Smite are losing it.
Oh my god.
And it is causing a huge uproar in the community. And their like whole thing is like, it's not like Unreal 4 or 3 to 5. It's not something that we can just pull assets into. And they said it would take like over like a year of people working on redoing models to transition them all. But people in the community are losing their minds because
I mean, I would be.
because I'm thinking that they're going to be closing the servers to Smite 1 or the original Smite. So it's not like you have the ability to just keep on playing Smite. It's the Overwatch 2 shit.
Yeah, it's an Overwatch situation.
Yeah.
Which I think was one of the first indicators that I wouldn't be playing Overwatch 2, was that my skins wouldn't carry over.
Yeah, 100%.
And I had
dope skins.
Like my favorite skin to use was the fucking bee themed diva.
My favorite was not Roadhog. Who's the other?
The tank.
No, the guy who shoots the grenades.
Oh, fuck.
The Australian guy.
Something rat, right?
Junkrat.
Junkrat, that's it.
So Junkrat, my favorite was his beach skin, and he had the sun lotion under his eyes, some glasses, a big inner
Swim
tube.
trunks.
Yeah, an inner tube.
I remember there was
and,
a skin.
floaties. That's what he'd wear.
The name that came to mind for me, I know is not correct because it was based on a specific skin he used to have with like a crown and like a bunch of chains and shit all over
For
him.
what?
For
What kid?
Junkrat.
Okay.
And my sister, she started calling it, or we saw the skin when it came out. We were like, oh, it's the Gucci Junkrat. And then we shortened it to Gucci Rat, and then it just turned into Gooch Rat. So every time I think of that character, I just think Gooch Rat.
Okay. I mean, I only really played like, especially when they changed it to instead of open queue, it was the either
Pick the class.
yeah, support, tank, or damage. Yeah. And when they did the queue like that, I pretty much played tank exclusively because I'd get shorter wait times. And then I'd mostly just play Roadhog or Sigma. I actually really liked Sigma.
I always liked being I would always queue as healer and try to get Moira.
And be a damaged Moira.
Well, I was very good at healing.
Okay, that's great.
I could handle her where I could do damage.
Moira is an excellent character because you can play a damaged Moira.
Yeah.
But the problem
it's usually not practical.
no at all. But
Like you have to balance what you're doing.
She can definitely put out damage though, but it
Yeah.
sucks for the rest of the team. But I did like when you could it was open queue, and so you could just pick anybody, and people would just do like all like
all damage or all
yeah,
tanks.
Yeah. I also hated that they took away who's the May's freeze ability.
Oh, the little guy.
No, the
Snowball?
the ability to like if you hit somebody enough with her primary that it would freeze them. They took that away. Yeah, in Overwatch 2. It sucks. 'Cause that was a dope.
I wasn't bad with her. Like once you get used to knowing where you need to put the walls, you can own as May.
Yeah. It's a very useful character because she has a lot of her ability to put up walls is very practical, and then you could wall off and then ultimate and close people off in a room and just fucking freeze them all.
Yeah, it was great. I miss Overwatch. Wish they would bring it back.
Yeah, and then I pretty much, when like Overwatch 2 came out, I just played Gundam Evolution as my, and then now that's gone.
Miss Gundam Evolution.
Yeah.
Wish they'd bring it back.
Now that's gone. So it's
The game is so good.
It was, and they also had great. Just it was cool seeing all the cool Gundams that I like would build and have those all be in there. So
Yeah, the only reason anybody likes Guntank is because of that game.
yeah, and Guntank was a great character. He was, I fucking
Now there's like a TikTok account that's like taking Guntank on adventures.
Really?
And they just post like pictures of their little Guntank figure.
that's awesome. There's that new Gundam Netflix movie. Like, it's really actually I'm very
Is that the one with Char where he like gets his arm cut off?
No, so it's set as you are. It's the perspective is you're a Xeno Neon, a soldier, so in the Zaku's and stuff like that, and it's from their perspective, and then it like literally looks like they're fighting on Earth and some small town and just doing typical war stuff, and then like shit starts popping off, and there's in the clip of in the trailer, there's a clip where like people are dying. They're like, "Oh my god, what the fuck?" And then like in the smoke of like a fallen, mobile suit is fucking RX-78, like with glowing red eyes, and they're like, and I love that perspective, like
That sounds
fucking
dope.
being on the opposing team, having this unstoppable,
Being horrified of the main character.
like just a terrible. I love that. I think that's such a cool perspective. But it is that like CGI animation style, which I'm not the biggest fan of.
I mean, if it's more in the vein of like Trigun, like the new Trigun, I think it could be good.
Doesn't really look like that though, because Trigun was stylized still.
Yeah, Trigun kind of did the Dragon Ball thing where they do 3D and then they put 2D on top of it.
Yeah, it was. I mean, Trigun looked. The new Stampede looked really good. But this one just looks like, I mean, like back in the day when they would do like CGI, like cutscenes for games. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So who knows? But it's really cool that like Netflix. As much as I'm pretty pissed about the password sharing stuff.
They are invested on the anime
They
side
are,
of things.
and the fact that
they're the ones that brought Yu Yu Hakusho back is
and
surprising.
they did Hathaway,
They did.
which is incredible. I mean,
Castlevania wouldn't have that without them.
Night of the Wolf. Yeah,
Devil May Cry now.
yeah. Which apparently they're wanting that to be like one of the biggest animes on the like current day. They want it to be big.
Damn.
So
I mean, if they do it correctly, I think it can be.
yeah, I mean,
Especially if
the
they
director
do
was
the-
like, I want this to be like the best anime of all time.
Damn.
So good luck to him.
I hope they live up to that.
Yeah,
Especially if they do the story of 3.
do they? What's the story of 3?
That's the one where they introduce Virgil, and it's like
That's not the main character.
no, Dante's the main character. Virgil's his twin brother.
What?
Yeah. So they're Nephilim, so they're half angel, half demon, or whatever.
Okay.
And like Dante embraces like his human side,
Okay.
and Virgil is like, I need to be more powerful and kill my brother because there's this little contrivancy thing where it's like, oh, when they were kids, like they don't have parents anymore because heaven and hell like invaded their home to try to kill them.
Yeah.
And, like they set the house on fire. The dad's dead. The mom's dead.
Uh-huh.
And it's like Virgil was like locked in a closet, but Dante was able to get out.
Oh.
And he didn't know Virgil was in there. So now Virgil's like, the one person that I thought I could trust abandoned me. So like he's constantly trying to kill him until 5.
And then on 5 they like work together.
Yeah, at the end of 5, he gets up there, and then Nero finally tells him that Virgil is his dad. And then that's the first time that Virgil like sees that he's like kind of a human too.
Oh.
And then he's like, maybe I shouldn't kill my brother. And then at the end of that, it's like Dante and Virgil have to close this massive hell mouth from hell, while Virgil or Nero does it from Earth.
Uh-huh.
So Dante and Virgil are just journeying through hell, killing demons, and they just make like a competition out of it.
Okay.
So like they're still competitive, but they're not
I mean,
trying to
just
kill each other. which
Classic brothers.
is, progress.
Yeah. So okay. I mean, there hasn't been. Has there been other movies or any like thing outside the games that has been produced?
There was an anime. It's like an early 2000s anime.
Okay.
It's not very good, and it doesn't really fit Dante's character too much.
Okay.
Because they make him all like, oh, cool and collected and mysterious. But in the games, he's like, I want to eat pizza and fuck. So, yeah, it's
and then
not very
DMC, they're just like, he's edgy as fuck.
funny. Yeah.
Okay.
And he puts on a wig of actual Dante's hair, and he's like, ugh, this is fucking gay. Because they designed him after the guy that was the director of the game.
Okay.
And he was like, no, he needs to look like me, because I fuck and I kill demons.
So those style of games, what would you call them? It's the same vein as like Bayonetta, right?
Yeah, a lot of people call him stylish action.
Okay. I mean, I guess Metal Gear Rising would be in that.
Yeah, I'd definitely lump that in there. Because it's all like...
And there's this game that you keep on telling me that also Joey really likes that I should play that's like Metal Gear Rising. You've recommended it to me ever since. I was like, any games like Metal Gear Rising? I would like.
Was it Astral Chain?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. That one's good.
Okay.
It's on Switch.
Okay. Oh, just on Switch.
Yeah.
Okay.
They want to make it a trilogy, and they made enough money to make it a trilogy. They were like, we're going to put the first one out, and if it does well enough, like, we'll give you the rest of them. And then they made it, and it made like a shit zillion dollars. And they were like, whoa, that overperformed. And then they haven't made a sequel yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you wanna talk about on Pod about how Limited Run kind of fucked you over?
Yeah, I would like to talk about that.
Yeah, let's put that out so that people can be mad.
So I'm sure anyone that's in the Limited Run Discord or has tried to buy anything from them in the past like week and a half knows this. But the website used to use Shop, which is that app that'll show you where your deliveries are.
Yeah.
You can connect your PayPal to it and everything.
Yeah.
It was perfect. Like, you couldn't have made the website better unless you had like
Shop was a really cool app because it would like
it compiles all your orders
and give you delivery updates and all. Yeah. Shop was really cool.
I still use Shop.
Yeah.
But they integrated it with Limited Run. So like you could just connect your Shop account, pay through there. They'd automatically import all your things. And it was really cool. It was perfect. You could do your PayPal, Pay in 4, Sezzle, Afterpay, like all the different payment services.
Yeah.
But recently they adopted this thing called Purple Dot, which seems like a Nigerian prince scam. I logged in.
He just needs a little bit of help, and if I just send him some money,
if you just give him $5,000, he'll give you like
$2 million
a game.
Yeah.
That you won't be able to get.
Yeah.
But I logged into the website to try to buy the new stuff, and I don't make a ton of money, so I do the paying for thing, just so I can make sure I get all the releases for my collection. So I get on there, I add the new stuff that I don't have yet. I go to my profile to make sure that I haven't bought any of them before, and it's like, hey, after this date, you won't be able to see what you bought. I'm like, that doesn't make any goddamn sense. This is the place where I buy them.
Yeah.
You just put a thing on my profile that says I bought them.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. But they're like, no, you can't do that anymore. And I was like, okay, well, fuck you. At least I can do that through my email, I guess. And then I go to the checkout, and it's like, all right, you have to re-enter all your information because we didn't save that either. Even though that was saved to my Limited Run profile. Not like Shop or anything.
Yeah.
Like, that was baked in to the thing that I used to order from them.
Yeah.
And, I get through that whole process of typing my shit in again. And then it gets to the payment options. Well, it doesn't even say options. It says payment. And it's got 3 fields for you to type in: your card number, your security code, and the expiration date. And I'm like, I'm not going to fucking do that.
Yeah.
Like, Limited Run is probably the easiest to hack company that's ever existed.
Yeah.
Especially with this fucking Purple Dot thing. Like, they probably are just stealing my card.
Well, because you were saying that you also then, after that, you looked on the Discord. And
yeah,
people
so I went to the Discord to try to find, like, is there a workaround or something? every post on the Discord that I saw from that day, I went on there to post about it myself, but every other post was like, what the fuck is this Purple Dot shit? I can't use Afterpay, can't use PayPal. Guess I'm not going to buy anything from them anymore. And I was like, well, I'm glad that I'm not the only one. And it seems like everybody else in the general chat is kind of having the same ordeal. So,
I was, so speaking of kind of like payment options, I don't have a credit card. And as much as like I did do the Dave Ramsey like financial like school thing, went through all that, and he's, Dave Ramsey's right down the freeway from us. I mean, I pass him you pass him every day.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a huge office, and there's a lot of stuff that people say about Dave Ramsey, and maybe I just don't care enough to keep up with it, and I don't know what's true. But to be fair, I think I know people that work there, and they're actually really great people, and I'm sure that I hear that their work culture, if you don't do anything against their work culture, is pretty good. I mean, like their Christmas parties go insane. They literally will be like, oh, go to Walmart and buy whatever you want, like anything, and then they pretty much, it's like, if you need this, we'll buy it for you. So people will get like TV, it's like within reason.
Yeah.
But like really, you just like a shopping spree that you can just buy whatever you want, and yeah, their Christmas parties just go insane. So they take care of their employees very well, unless they're like, oh, there's this woman that they found out that was living with her boyfriend and they fired her because they're like, premarital sex is bad. So like, if you don't do anything that's wrong, they'll take care of you. So, but I was like, I probably need a credit card because I need to have a good credit score for, whatever, for adult things.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been hearing that, all these cards that have like savings account, it's like 0.5% of like interest that you make on like a savings account and all these other things. And then like cash back fucking sucks on all these other cards. The Apple Card is like incredible. You get 3% cash back on like everything that you use. But then if you buy like specific things, it's like more.
Yeah.
And they also, I think it's like a 6% or interest rate or something like untipped, like really high for the banking thing. And it's through Goldman Sachs. And recently Goldman Sachs is trying to pull out of the deal because people their whole thing is you default on your payment, they make money. Mm-hmm. Like that's the whole thing with credit cards. And so like they haven't been making money with Apple Cards. And I was like, they're still like contractually obligated with them. And I was like, I should probably get in there because they definitely won't change like interest rates and other stuff like that because it's they're like, Apple's going to be like, I mean, they're like one of the top companies in the world, they're not going to change their contracts and be like, oh, actually now it's going to be lower. I mean, people would cancel shit for that. But, yeah, Goldman Sachs is like, we're losing money. We do not want to be a part of this deal. So they're trying to see if like another bank will take it over or like large, money corporation will take it over. So, but I was like, I should probably try to get an Apple Card. Yeah. So
sounds like a pretty sweet deal.
But I don't know, like my whole life, everyone was like, credit card bad. But like, I've never been one to like overspend.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, even like with Luke, he's always like, it seems very useful for him. Like, oh, like shit, like when his tire got blown, he just put on his credit card, so he could, pay later essentially, and makes sense. Mm-hmm. It's helpful. So.
Definitely.
But it's very weird because then like I see like clips from the Dave Ramsey show and this woman's like, yeah, we're like $1 million in debt, and he's like, how the fuck did that happen? And she's like, oh yeah, school loans, and then we have like $50,000 in credit card debt, and he's like, what are you doing? Like it's
I can't imagine doing anything that costs $50,000.
I mean, yeah, that's like the thing. Like I get really worried when I have to spend anything over $300. And it's like, usually it's, I mean, all of that is like either like a car payment or like maybe we buy a couch or a bed, and stuff for but like, other than that, like I'm very scared to, like, it's a large amount of money. And, I talk with Carmen and figure stuff out. And, so for me to just like be like, oh, if I don't have to pay now, like this is free money. Like that
is not a mindset that
100%. That's why I'm like, I don't understand how these people live in this my mom would call it, like, growing up, it was magical thinking, which is like, oh, like, if in your head it just is magically different than the reality.
Yeah.
Like, for me growing up, it's like, especially with like school stuff, is like, if I don't think about the homework that I have to do, it doesn't
exist.
Magical thinking. It's just like,
I did a lot of that.
yeah. So I mean, for these people that would just be like, I could just buy, like, the limit
I could buy a fucking Lexus.
yeah, like, the limit to
And
my
I'd
credit
never have
card
to
is
pay for it.
$10,000. I only have $500 in my bank account, but I can spend $10,000 right now. Like, that's
wild.
magical thinking. What are you gonna do? Sell your kidney? Like, you better have a fucking plan.
But at that point, you fucking have to, or somebody's gonna take it.
Yeah, it's true.
Like
Because I mean, that's the whole thing about, like, I mean, we've seen them in video games and like shows, but like fucking loan sharks and stuff like that. Like, I mean, like, they existed because people would be like, I don't have a credit card. I need money now.
Gambling.
Yeah, like, that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's so wild.
I can't imagine
Like,
living in a world.
I'm
like
sure,
that.
like, if somebody's offended, like, no, like, I know, like, sure, people can be in hard places, but like,
Yeah,
fuck.
stop making it harder on yourself. Then,
yeah,
like I go to the fucking grocery store and I look at chips sometimes and I'm like, can I afford chips right now? If I'm like, if I'm running a little tight, I'll be like, no, I'm just not gonna get the fucking chips.
yeah.
Easy shit.
There it is, yeah. Like, yeah, I mean, like, I'm like, fuck, like, I need to just buy a bunch of chicken so I can meal prep and just eat that instead of going out to eat every day.
Yeah, I
mean-
need to do more of that.
Well, I mean, or just go to Costco, man.
Yeah, I love going to Costco.
Go to Costco and get some hot dogs.
Before I came home today, I was like, should I risk going to Costco in snow?
Oh, yeah.
Then I was like, no, better just go home.
Also, Costco opens at 10, I think.
Oh yeah, that would have been like I would have had to wait around.
Yeah, so Lance was popping off this morning. I knew exactly when you came home.
Yeah.
He was like, "Arr!" and then like an hour later, you were walking around, and Lance was like, I think this is PJ.
Yeah. I sat on the couch for a little while. I was playing my game, and then I was like, I don't think they're gonna wake up anytime soon. And I went to my room, just played a little bit more.
And then once you heard us talking, you just like appeared behind us on the
Yeah.
couch.
I appeared at the perfect right time to give Carmen some sass.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly you, because all of a sudden we were talking, and Carmen was saying something, and then with like a little bit of attitude, and then you just popped off, and I was like, "Oh, what's up, dude?"
Someone summoned me.
So no, it's yeah, fucking loan sharks. I mean, that's like the premise of like.
I mean, that's the whole Squid Game thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Like-
that's the plot to so many things. Is the loan sharks,
That Beast movie that we watched. Had to wait for the crabs to come in. Didn't even think the crabs were real.
That's right. We is there anything you'd want to watch? Because I usually just pick, but I mean, I'm fine picking again. But
I don't know. Maybe we should watch Bill and Ted's Bogus Adventure. Because I've been thinking a lot about Bill and Ted. That Circle K line just pops into my head every time I go to the gas station.
what is it? It's something.
Strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
It's true. I mean, maybe we could take a little gummy.
Maybe.
It's so mild. You'd survive.
We'll see. I'll try it.
I'll even cut it in half, and nothing will happen.
Okay, well, I'll try just one of the bits that you've already cut up.
Perfect. I mean, yeah, it's so mild for me. I've never felt like out of whack. Not like that time where I was in here losing my mind, and you're like, Matt, you have to like talk.
Oh yeah, we were Let's Playing,
Yeah.
and you were just laid out on the floor.
Yeah, and you're like, dude, what
I
the
was like,
fuck?
dude, we're recording right now.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going crazy right now. I'm losing my mind. Yeah,
We're playing like Resident Evil 5. And
Yeah.
You're like, I'm just so invested.
yeah. I couldn't even speak. I was just like, oh my gosh,
This is a crazy game.
this is so fucking, dude. What if zombies just busted in the door right now? I'd be so fucked. I couldn't even think about what to do.
Just freaking out
Yeah.
the whole time.
Talk to Tyler. I think I should just, because I was talking to Kevin about our winter trip, and we were saying like it's weird to invite people that don't normally hang out with us, but that's how he was like. But that's how like friendships.
Yeah, that's how they're formed.
Yeah, and so I was like, the worst thing I could do is just say like, no, I can't.
Yeah.
You know, just like, what if they were like, okay, well, at that price point, it's dirt cheap for splitting an Airbnb between us. And if I was like, you don't have to worry about like paying for, food. Like, as I said, like Kevin and Carmen and I will buy food, and if you want beers, you can buy that. But other than that, like dinner and like normal meals will be provided. It's like, other than that, just pay for housing. I mean, like that's an easy trip.
Yeah, definitely.
So, either invite Nate and Sarah or Rafe and Lily. So,
Yeah.
worst they can say is no, and maybe they'd be like, wow, at least they want to hang out with us.
I think one of those couples would say no,
It's
potentially, and then the other
just
would
wouldn't
not
respond.
reply.
Yep. Yeah, we know exactly who's who. So,
Yeah, of course.
yeah. But we're already on an hour and a half. It's been fun.
Yeah, let's cut it.
Yeah, let's eat some Memphis Mac.
Hell
For
yes.
those who don't know, that's chili, mac and cheese, and pulled pork.
Yes, sir.
So I'm super stoked for that. We'll see if I have to work tomorrow. I might just be like, man, my roads are fucked.
Yeah, I mean, I'm off tomorrow, just because of scheduling.
Carmen's off tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my car, I tried to start it yesterday and it was real struggling. So maybe I'll have some car problems in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for listening. And as always,
Take it sleazy.